All right, rub button. Man, I don't know what happened tonight for a lot of these guys, but I mean, the Bulls finally look competent out there. It's about damn time. I'm just like, what is this team has just been so disappointing. Like, even that Charlotte game, it wasn't like much of a, like, the Bulls won that game, but like it wasn't like it was like a overall like the best game from them. And they still gave up 126 points in that game. But tonight, the Bulls not only held the Cavs to 2 quarters of scoring under 30 points, they held them to under 25 points in 2 quarters. So the defense absolutely stepped up. We saw zone defense finally from the Bulls that actually looked competent. And Billy might have found something with the Jalen Smith and Zach Collins zone defensive lineup. So I'm overall, I'm pretty impressed by that. Again, though, we will not be giving Billy Donovan praise on this channel for his absolute just terrible atrocities as coach that he's made. But it seems like the coaching staff and maybe even you know, some of the assistant coaches were figuring out the zone defense, and it actually worked really well. After a treacherous start defensively by this Bulls team, I mean, oh my god, the start of this game was horrific by this Bulls team defensively. I am talking about the Bulls giving up 28 points with 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. That zone defense legit saved the team, and it came at a perfect time. The second unit came in, especially Trey Jones and the 2 big men in Zach Collins and Jalen Smith, and they were absolutely crucial to get the Bulls back into the game. And then we saw, I mean, Giddey had a probably, I think, his best all-around game he's had in a long bit here, in terms of, like, I'm not, like, you know, freaking out about the defense at all. Like, I think Giddey actually played really solid defense today. Kobe was efficient finally. That's also been a long time coming. Holy crap, man. Kobe cannot be shooting this terribly from here on out, and he was finally efficient today. Vooch did not play well in the first quarter. I want that to be clear. Vooch was awful, in the first half. Vooch was awful in the first half, but he had a really good second half, and he helped propel the Bulls to victory. So, holy hell, man! It's been a while since this Bulls team has finally actually looked like competent, and they beat a team that I'm like, you know what? You didn't just like flat out outscore them like how they did against the Denver Nuggets, or like how they did against Charlotte. You actually played some competent defense out there and showed on that side of the ball, like, hey, yeah, you can actually be better defensively. Not saying you'll be good. I'm just saying that you can actually give me some level of effort defensively, that I'm not like freaking out and pulling my hair out almost every other possession. So that was finally good to see, especially for some of these core guys that I'm pretty critical of right now. We saw some good defensive effort tonight, so that's good to see. So glad to see everyone's here for the post-game stream. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you've not hit the like button on the stream, please do. Helps me out a lot. I sincerely do appreciate it. I will have to say, though, man, this Cavs team, okay, I want to make this clear. I'm not taking away any credit from this Bulls team. Like, they went out and absolutely just spanked the Cavs' ass tonight, and that's exactly what they should have done. And they did it in a really astonishingly well fashion, which I mean, their active hands absolutely deserve the credit that they deserve tonight. But holy shit, bro. This Cavs team, I am like utterly shocked at how they've looked. I was not really paying too much attention to how they've been looking recently. I've been aware that they've been losing some games that they shouldn't have been, but I have not been aware of how bad some of these L's have been. And like, oh my god, tonight the Cavs defense was atrocious. And so, like, I mean, it honestly looked like Bulls level, like losing streak level defense that we were seeing from the Cavs tonight. So again, not to take away any credit from this Bulls team tonight, they absolutely did everything great, and their active hands is something that, you know, the Cavs can be playing bad, but you have active hands. That's all you, right? But I am like utterly shocked at how bad this Cavs team looks. Darius Garland looks awful. And it just seems like it's like Donovan Mitchell has to carry this team like and try to will them to victory. And if he's not going, then like, I mean, good luck. And he's averaging 30 points per game this season. So I am just shocked at how bad this Cavs team look. Obviously Mobley's out, but they were losing games before Mobley went out. So I am just like, Jesus, man, I had you at the top of the Eastern Conference this season, and you look awful. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing with this Cavs team. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen Friday night, because like I actually think the Bulls can, like, right now go into Cleveland on Friday and also do the exact same thing here. Maybe not as to this level of degree, but still go out and beat this Cavs team, because like right now this Cavs team looks awful. And so I mean, if the Bulls want to, you know, kind of make up for some stuff here, like, yeah, go and beat this team that is above 500, but they're playing losing ball. You know, it'll kind of make up for some of the L's that you took during the easy part of your schedule when you're facing teams that had 4 wins or less. So I think that if the Bulls are going to take advantage, they got to take advantage on Friday, because I mean, tonight honestly showed me that there's no reason for me to believe that the Cavs should be beating the Bulls unless like somehow Mobley like gets randomly better, which he won't. So I am just shocked to see how bad Cleveland looks, man. Where the hell has this team been last month? I'm wondering the exact same question, and it's not necessarily about the offensive end fully. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the offense was significantly better tonight. The cutting was great. And I'm even gonna say that I think even that Pelicans game, I think the offense was fine. But there's just see guys out there, and they're running better, I would say, in this game maybe, but to see the guys understand, like, okay, we need to just fully attack the rim, that was good, because the Cavs are not playing any sort of defense. But the pick and rolls were significantly better tonight. I think that no matter who was setting it, whether it was Collins, Smith, or Vucevic, it was significantly better tonight. And Giddey understanding that he needed just to take the shots that Cleveland was giving him was like perfect. Like, it's a bit, we'll argue back and forth about that Pelicans game. I mean, even Billy Donovan said, I guess, that the Bulls offense was fine that Pelicans game, but Giddey took, I think, 10 threes tonight or it was 11. I think it was 11 threes tonight. That's great. Like, he is playing to his strength right now, and he went and drained a bunch of threes tonight. That's great. I want that from Giddey moving forward. I'd rather him do that than like watch him shoot floaters or anything. So that was really good to see from Giddey. And then everybody else cutting wise was doing much better job than obviously we've been seeing recently. So that's good. Also, the Bulls weren't like just horrific from the 3-point line. It does help when you're making threes, and Josh Giddey shooting more threes is a good thing. That's what I want to see from him moving forward. So more Giddey threes, please, because this Bulls team has struggled mightily recently with the 3-point shot. Please just shoot more. You're being left wide open, like how we saw with the Cavs, and like in other games as well. You're being left open. Just shoot it. And so I was happy to see that from him as this game. This is a good game for me. Okoro was active. Kobe guys 25 points, and Vooch looked like I had like 3 minutes of pure dominance. Right. Vooch in that fourth quarter was very solid in that fourth. I'll give him a lot of credit for that fourth quarter run that he gave us. He started out the third quarter pretty good. He scored the first 5 points. He didn't really do much after that in the third, but that fourth quarter was like very solid from Vucevic, and it was really good to see. It's a Christmas miracle. I mean, I don't know, honestly, if it's a Christmas miracle. Like, I'd say the Bulls being a more significantly better team would be that, but man, bro, again, credit to all the Bulls, but this Cavs team looks horrible. This Cavs team looks rough. I am shocked, honestly. What do you think Alonzo Ball struggles? Also, it looks like the Bulls should continue to play zone. I completely agree that, so it very clearly looks like that there has to be at least one of Collins or Smith out there to play zone. And I agree with that sentiment, because I do think that, I mean, we did see a zone look that didn't have either of those guys out there, but I do overall agree though that those two guys as the big or like one of the guys at the 4 spots, like you need one of those guys out there to run the zone. This Bulls team is not going to be effectively able to run it unless one of those guys is out there, especially one of them playing center, because I don't trust Vucevic to actively be there at all moments. So I do think that that's something that the Bulls have to look at. Now, I will say, like, I don't think you're going to be able to run this against every team. I do think that there's going to be a struggle against some of these other teams that can have like 3-point shooters everywhere, and this 2-3 zone is going to be very, very tough to use against some of the better perimeter scoring guys or teams in the league. Like, for example, if you're going to run this against the Boston Celtics, I don't think you're going to have much success against them. But in terms of, like, you know, a team like the Cavs, who you typically, you know, they usually have like a double big lineup out there. like, or they're like kind of a little bit more heliocentric with their kind of offense, then I could kind of see a role where this is maybe something to kind of use moving forward. I'm gonna need a bigger sample size for it to be like, oh yeah, like the Bulls have solidified themselves as like a great zone defense or whatever, because like we've seen the zone defense earlier this season and it was not good by any means. So I'm gonna be hesitant to say that it's like, oh, the Bulls have figured out their zone defense. It looks great. It's good for one game. So as always, I think we should all know this by now for all Bulls fans, that sample sizes do matter, and I do want to see this be a little bit more successful in multiple games before I say that, oh, like we need to like run the zone defense like it's like every single game. But do I think that Billy should be busting it out like, you know, every game just to kind of throw a different look out there? Yeah, I definitely think we should kind of throw it out there and just see what it does. Maybe don't stick with it as long as we did today, but I liked what I saw. Daniel Stills, Trey got 11 assists. I think Josh Giddey's the player of the game. I think Trey Jones is easily my number 2. Like, you know, props to Kobe for having a great game scoring wise, but Trey Jones, like, he was phenomenal tonight, man. Like, Trey Jones was everywhere defensively. He was incredible on the offensive end as well, of finding his guys. Like, he was moving so well. And I mean, bro, he was a humongous reason why the Bulls got back into the game in that first quarter. Because the Bulls, I thought the Bulls were in for a horrible night when the Cavs had 28 points and we took a timeout with 5:24 left remaining. I was just like, oh my god, we've given up 28 points and there's still over 5 minutes left in this quarter. Trey Jones though came in and, well, along with that 2-3 zone, was humongous, and he to me deserves you know, number 2, the silver medal tonight. That block on the big to end the game that laughed at him when he hurt his ankle was golden. Oh, I mean, yeah, that was a nice block. I will say I think Giddey probably did foul him, but like, yeah, hey, good job, Giddey. He got him back. I loved it. Loved Okoro's cutting. Okoro's overall activity was really good today. It wasn't just his cutting. He got a couple offensive rebounds, I believe. Maybe it was just one. No, it was 2. Yeah. That was good to see. He also ran in transition for a bucket tonight, and so that was really good from him. Double big offense was a big plus. It was a big plus in the first half. It was not a big plus in the second half. And so, like I said, we're gonna have to, like, the double big is something that you have to kind of manage and not be like, oh, we're just gonna always run it. But yeah, I was really appreciative of what I saw from it. I loved about the good Bulls minutes, lots of cutting for good passing opportunities. Yes, as we've all been trying to ask for that, I guess, more of. Cutting is what I love to see around Giddey, and yeah, we definitely need to do that more with Giddey around. But here's what I will say though, I do think that the Bulls have cut, like, in some of these games. Like, I do think the Bulls have actually done some cuts that, like, they don't always get noticed because, like, the defense covers it up, or we're seeing that maybe someone misses the layup out of it. But it was definitely in the secondary transition tonight where I saw the Bulls were just doing such a better job, where they decided to just get some people in the paint at certain moments. I was like, wow, okay, like this is significantly better than what we've been seeing in, like, semi-transition, which is good to see. Tonight I played up to a level of competition. Core gained from cutting a lot. Yeah, I agree with both these sentiments, which is just like, I don't understand this Bulls team, but I will also just say that, man, this Cavs team looks rough, bro. Great defense was also super useful. I figured with Garland being short, Trey would be effective. Oh my god, Trey was incredible, not just in, like, guarding Garland, but, like, Trey was incredible in the zone defense as well, and he was, like, guarding different guys in the zone defense. Like, his active hands was just very, very key for the Bulls this game. The rest were annoying me in the first half. Thought it was going to be a 2v1 the whole game. Really? I wasn't too upset with the officials this game at all, honestly. I do think that there was some bad defensive moments in the first quarter that the Bulls got called for some fouls, but I wasn't too upset, honestly, with the officials in that first half. I was disturbed mostly first half Kobe's shot selection and moments where he just stands still the ball while the rest are moving and he moves late. Kobe, so the only thing I'm a little bit pissed off at with Kobe was that he decided to take, like, 2 threes tonight, and it was the 2 that he missed, but they were like, it was like a very quick shot. Like, I was just like, whoa. Look, man, I'm all for, like, quick offense, but, like, he took, like, 2 threes tonight that were, like, it was kind of deep and it was very early in the shot clock, and I was just like, wow, man, like, we don't need that. And then the shot that it was to end the first quarter where he decided to ISO, I did not like that one at all, because I was just like, why not run the pick and roll right now? Like, it's not like there's a shot blocker there. And also then Kobe just airballed the shot. I was just like, okay, like, brother, if we're gonna be having you ISO, then you at least have to hit rim on that, because he created himself a good open look, but he just flat out missed it. I was just like, and then there was also just the fact that it was a mid range. I was just like, we could have gotten a 3 there maybe, but whatever. He's gonna have to prove to me better though moving forward, that's like the whole, settling for that mid range and like airballing it, that's not gonna be a consistent part of his ISO shots. Like, that's not something I want to see. Let's not do that. And other than that, like, he started the game great. I mean, he missed a dunk, but like, whatever. But like, yeah, he started the game great. Then he like missed like most of his next like 5 shots. But then he had a very, I think it was a third quarter, right? Where he was doing pretty well. So that's when the entire Bulls offense though was rolling. But like, he played pretty well in that third quarter. So it's good to see this from Kobe, because I've been very, very concerned about his shooting percentages and like some of his decision making to start the season. And I understand he's still trying to get into form and everything, but this is a much better overall game from him. And also, I mean, there was a bad defensive possession by him in that third, but he also like wasn't like horrific defensively tonight. Like, I think Giddey, for example, I think Giddey was good defensively tonight. I think he did a really good job of staying in front of some guys. Like, DeAndre Hunter drove on him one-on-one, he was able to force a turnover off of it. Like, that's the stuff I need to see from Giddey. Like, that's a guy that doesn't have the best speed, but he's probably more athletic than you, but he was able to, stand his ground and force a turnover. Like, that was really good to see. Giddey's hands are also active a bit in the zone, which is good. Like, this is what we got to see from this backcourt. Efficiency, obviously, and then we got to see better overall defensive effort, and they gave that to us tonight. So I'm overall happier to see this performance from these guys, because, man, bro, there were some rough moments with these two in the backcourt defensively recently. So it's really good to see this from these guys. I'm both happy and sad about this game, to be honest. Happy we played well, but sad that we wasted an entire month of the year of being wasted of NBA space. Bro, I mean, yeah. And honestly, we might honestly be talking about the Cavs being the next like waste of space. But yeah, I'm in full agreement that it is absolutely annoying to see that the Bulls have just decided just to, like, in that month and a half-ish, like, it was just like, yep, we're just gonna be awful. Only saw like half the game from the third quarter on. Defense looked better. Giddey looked crazy. Vucevic even surprised me on defense, offense in the fourth. Yeah, okay, so just to be clear, Vucevic in that first half was not good. He got 2 points. He was not playing good defensively. Zach Collins actually played 11 minutes in that first half, and I was like, I made a tweet. I made like a thumbs up about it. I was like, yeah, this is good. But Vucevic played a lot better in that second half, man. Like, he actually was blitzing some pick and rolls, and like, he actually looked okay on it. His offense like was very efficient. He was actually making his interior shots, which he wasn't doing in like the past like 3 weeks. So it was finally good to see from Vucevic, where he was actually making his interior shots and not just being like a terribly inefficient center out there on the offensive end. And then not to mention defensively, he's been awful. So yeah, this was a much better overall performance from Vucevic overall. Good all-around team movement offense second half, but Trey and Giddey with the hub of that. People cut more of the passes when we made it, etc. I mean, yeah, I think in general everyone was making pretty good passes tonight. Like, Zach Collins had a lot of good passes tonight as well. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely around those guys to be the best passers, I guess, on this team. Here's the only thing that I'm just gonna say though about this, like, we have to understand this as well. And again, I'm not trying to take credit away from this Bulls team, but like, I think that there's this like idea that like, oh, we should be getting like backdoor cuts and getting like easy backdoor cuts like every single game. And I'm like, you have to understand that it also takes a horrifically bad defense to allow that to happen. And so when the Bulls aren't facing like a bad defense, then it's like, people are like, where are the back cuts? And I'm like, there's actions within this Bulls offense that are looking for back cuts. It's just it gets covered up. So, like, I want to just be clear that I want to make sure that we give the credit to these guys when they are back cutting, and they might not end up getting the ball. But I just feel like sometimes we just discredit them when it's like, no, that was a good back cut. The defender just stuck with them, or someone recovered over and decided to help on it. And was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take this away, and the Bulls get nothing out of it. Like, it's like there's a lot of chances throughout the game to like do these sort of back cuts, but it's, you know, sometimes it is on the Bulls that they're not moving enough. But there's also times where I think the Bulls are moving pretty well, and it just so happens that the defender was extra aware and the back cut wasn't available, right? Like, I think that's just something that we have to be aware of, that, oh, if maybe we didn't get that many back cuts this game, or it didn't seem like guys received the ball on many cuts, it's like, we still have to still watch the game and be like, oh, like, were we actually moving around well? And was it just the fact that, oh, the defense actually just did a good job? Because relying only on cuts is not going to be good offense for you, or sustainable offense for you for the entire season. Okay. This is the reason why we've been seeing ebbs and flows with this offense, where it's like, oh wow, like this Bulls offense kind of dies. But then there's games like this where it's like, wow, we're moving really well, everyone's all involved, and we're getting a lot of back cuts, and guys are cutting to the rim and getting rewarded for it. It's like, okay, but we have to also understand that it looks really good because the defense is not paying attention to some of these guys. And it's up to the Bulls to be aware of that and make sure you do the cuts at the proper time. But I do think that there are games right now where people are looking at the offense and like, man, it looks so shit. But I'm like, it's because we didn't make the shots. Like, we're still moving, but defenses are just aware of what's coming, and we're getting some open looks still, and we're just not making shots. Vucevic can't miss shots in the interior. That's going to significantly decrease the offensive output, because that's our center, and he's supposed to be the most efficient guy around the basket, right? Giddey's got to make his threes, and, you know, if he's also got to take more if he's going to make these threes, right? You know, Herter, for example, has been shooting at an atrocious 31.6% from three-point range heading into tonight, and he hit 3 threes tonight. Like, this is stuff that does matter, and shot making is going to make the offense look a lot better. It's not like we're getting like the worst shots. Like, the shot quality, honestly, is like still pretty good for the Bulls throughout this season. But it's just that we're not making shots. So I just want to make this clear for some people. And make sure we don't take credit away from some of these guys, but also maybe start looking at their inability to make shots consistently as maybe something that we need to talk about. But Duncan, Trey Jones, second best player, just all around good both ends. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Trey Jones is the second best player tonight. I did enjoy the double big minutes at P. Will. Bro. Okay, look, I'm going to talk about Patrick Williams, but we're going to discuss this a little bit later in the stream. I have some thoughts I need to talk about. Yes, those threes are examples of from Kobe. Those threes from Kobe I did not appreciate personally, but I understand some people's disagreement. It flies in the face of what was working well. For the most part, yes. I think when team dynamics have been bad, involving everyone in like this team can do wonders. I hope so, but I don't know. Like, I feel like that you could also argue that, oh, I thought we're involving everybody, and like Jalen Smith only got 3 shots tonight. Like, I think there's also that world where something like that happens. Yeah, he didn't play particularly bad, just his usual shot selection I want to fix a bit. Could have amazing percentages if he just didn't take 2 or 3 really weird shots again that obviously shouldn't get taken. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think the percentage would be better. I don't know if it would be amazing percentages, though. I think Kobe still needs to prove to me that he's a better shot maker overall and more efficient before I say he's gonna be like, even if he like took like really good shots all the time, I don't know if his percentages would be there right now. Vooch looked like they have one of the more active defensive games for the season. Oh, for sure, I completely agree with that. I still prefer Zach and Smith minutes, mostly Zach. I would agree. Especially, bro, like that first half was just like the Bulls were a significantly just different team when Zach Collins was on the floor. Like, that first half from Vucevic was just rough. But yeah, hey, you made up for it. It was a very, very solid second half from Vucevic, and props to him for making up for it. So, good job by him. Definitely one of the more active games seen defensively. The blitzing was definitely interesting to see. I don't love it. But hey, it worked out in some possessions where the Bulls blitz was effectively messing up the Cavs offense, and that was a good job to see from all the defenders. Like we saw from Vucevic, we saw from Collins, everyone up on the pick and roll. So very clearly there was a big game plan tonight to get the ball out of Garland and Mitchell's hands, which is a very good thing to see. And I'm very happy that the Bulls were aware of that, because it's forcing the others for the Cavs to have to make decisions, and that was good to see. So props to that. So yeah, nice overall victory here for the Bulls. They finally were able to get a win where they played competent, and you're not facing one of the bottom feeders of the league. And they won because their defensive effort was actually pretty solid tonight, and that's something that I'm just like, hey, you're showing it. Like, I see 12 steals tonight. Like, hey, you gotta bring this every night now. I mean, you're able to force this Cavs team into 20 turnovers. Pretty impressive. That's something I gotta see this consistently from here on out before we're gonna be even talking about, like, hey, this Bulls defense is great defensively. No, they're not. They're still awful overall. But I mean, the start, right? And you gotta start somewhere, and the 2-3 zone is something nice to just kind of see from this team finally. Been a long time coming here. Couple things. So I know Christopher asked this question. I seriously doubt that he's still here. Lonzo Ball's struggles are very, very crazy to me. He just clearly just does not have his jump shot. Now, let me be clear about Lonzo one more time about how I view Lonzo Ball as a player. Okay. I know some people are going to disagree with me heavily on this, but like I don't think it even matters at this point. He's not part of the Bulls. But I never looked at Lonzo Ball as a point guard. Like in terms of like what I want from a point guard in today's game, like he to me is like nowhere close to being a ball handler. He is very clearly to me, he's a 3-and-D player. He's a 3-and-D wing. He's a 3-and-D shooting guard. Like, I don't see Lonzo Ball as he's supposed to be on ball and trying to run the offense. Like, now don't get me wrong. Like, he's a phenomenal passer. Okay. And it's kind of similar to what I've said about Giddey, but like Giddey has shown me the ability to get to the basket and score. Lonzo has never done that in his career. Okay. Lonzo has never been a good finisher around the rim in his entire career. And not to mention, he really struggles to even make any sort of shots off the dribble at times. And he cannot run a pick and roll that is very effective unless it's he's just stepping into a 3-point shot basically. He is very much to me just a very obvious 3-and-D wing. Like that's what I look at with Lonzo. And his entire game, though, his offensive game is on his 3-point shot that he's worked on tremendously to get it to what it was before the injuries, right? But holy hell, man, this has been a horrific season from him. He is shooting 29% from the field. He's shooting 26% from 3-point range heading into tonight's game. As you can see, though, his shot selection is very much like it is mostly just threes. Like this is something that I went back and forth a lot with Bulls Nation about. This is that Lonzo Ball is mostly just a 3-point shooter, and it's mostly just catch and shoot threes. Okay, that's mostly what he takes. Therefore, he's not a good ball handler. Like he's a guy that if he's a nice kind of swing guy to kind of have, and he can make great passes, but he is much more of a wing versus being a main ball dominant ball handler for the team, or even a backup point guard in a sense. I think that the Pacers, the Cavs, they're very much missing Ty Jerome. Like that was a guy that can come in and shoot off the dribble and come in and be an extra ball handler for the team, and you can trust him to actually kind of generate some offense. Whereas Lonzo is they're trying to kind of have him in that kind of similar of a role, but that's just not his role. He's supposed to be very much a 3-and-D type of guy, and unfortunately for him, the 3-point shot has just disappeared for him this season, and I don't know why. I am very confused why it has done that. Now, here's the issue. If you look at last season, for example, his 3-point shot last season with the Bulls was not even that great either. He was having a lot of issues with the 3-point shot. Now, it was mostly after that wrist injury that he suffered. And he missed a lot of games because of it, but then he came back but he didn't look the same in terms of his 3-point shot after that point. So I do wonder about the wrist issue. I am definitely wondering if it's like had lingering effects on him. But I really do hope that he's going to be able to find his shooting stroke, because holy hell, this has been a horrific season for him. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to be going for him moving forward, but I hope nothing but the best, because this is really bad, and the Cavs could desperately use some offense from him, because he's getting some minutes, and the Cavs, you know, they need 3-point shooting right now because they're really struggling. But that's my overall thoughts with Lonzo. He is unfortunately kind of one-dimensional as a offensive player, and if that goes, like, I don't really know what else he's gonna bring offensively. So I'm not fully like surprised by the struggles. I'm more just surprised at just how bad the 3-point shot looks. Like, you know, if he was shooting like 33% from 3-point range, like, yeah, it's a bit of a struggle, but it's like not that like ridiculous, especially for a guy off the bench. But yeah, this is definitely an issue for him. I'm very, very shocked that it's at 26%. That's not what I was expecting this season. But that wrist issue might be something to really look at. And people are saying like he has the yips. I don't think he has the yips. It's just that he just can't make a shot. Like, his form looks fine. I'm not too worried about the form, honestly. I recently learned that growing up watching basketball, Giddey had said his 3 favorite players he watched in the NBA. One was Lonzo Ball. Makes sense. I mean, I do think that both of them have the pass first mindset, and they're able to find their teammates at a very, very nice, very, very like great rate, and especially in transition. Like, they're like, when Lonzo's right, like, he is definitely one of the best players in transition. I think Giddey's also up there as well. So that's sort of special that he got to play with one of his favorite players, and it makes even more sense why he was so vocally wanting to play minutes with him early on. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, you gotta live your dream, right? And hey, Lonzo was just already a good story that he came back in the first place, and yeah, I'm sure for Giddey it was a great time playing with him. So yeah, it was a cool duo when we did see it. I didn't love it though. Like, I do think that both those guys, if they're handling the ball so much, it is a kind of a limited offense, unfortunately. And obviously Giddey at that point was not scoring 20 a game, so like it's even more limited at that point. But yeah, I'm you know, I'm hoping Lonzo figures it out. You know, it's such a good story, but I do wonder if there's just some like mechanical stuff going on that's just not sitting well with his body because of just how many injuries he's taken. And who knows? We'll see what happens. Okay, let's talk about a couple other things here. And the first thing I want to talk about is Patrick Williams, because I know Charles mentioned it about Patrick in chat here about like he didn't love like the double big with Patrick Williams out there, and I overall do agree. Now, here's the thing: I didn't like Patrick Williams' minutes in general tonight. Okay, now I am going to be saying something right now that is not really fully correlated to the game, but I do need to talk about it. Okay, so I made a tweet today that got some attention around Bulls community, because I honestly was getting pretty PO'd with how some of the Bulls fans were kind of talking about certain things, and it really started to just kind of piss me off with how much the discourse has gone when it comes to Buzelis. Okay, now what has been happening a lot, if you have not been paying attention to Bulls Twitter, and I don't blame you if you aren't, okay, but there is all of a sudden a bunch of Bulls fans that were advocating that Patrick Williams has been significantly better or just better recently than Montes Buzelis, and he should be getting more minutes than him. And that's the reason why Billy Donovan basically played the Patrick Williams and Montes Buzelis the same amount of minutes against the Pelicans, okay? Which, if you remember when that stream happened, I said that I might crash out because Buzelis didn't close the game and he didn't get that many minutes. He got basically less minutes than Giddey, and Giddey was in foul trouble and had to sit like the last 8 minutes of the first half. Okay. Now let me be clear about something. Okay. I don't think Buzelis has played the best. I'm not advocating that I think Buzelis has played well. Okay. But this, to me, this sentiment that Patrick Williams has just been better recently than Montes Buzelis, to me, is just absolutely false. And I just don't understand why this is such a topic. But the reason why it became a topic is because someone like me is like advocating for Buzelis to get more minutes tonight, or minutes in games, and he should be closing games, and development for him is super crucial for this Bulls team moving forward. Now, I can kind of understand tonight, okay? Trey Jones was playing extremely well, so was Okoro, okay? Like, I think Okoro was playing better than Buzelis tonight, don't get me wrong, okay? Now, I do wish, though, overall, like, you could still, I think, get more minutes for Buzelis than 22 minutes, especially with him starting, even if you don't decide to close the game with him. But I thought in that third quarter, I thought Buzelis was playing pretty well, and he was overall doing everything right. So I would have been totally fine if Buzelis did close this game tonight. But Billy Donovan decided not to do that. I don't love that. I still think it's a problem overall. And it's more of a problem just in terms of what Billy Donovan has done overall for the season, okay? But, you know, tonight I can kind of understand it, but still, I cannot understate the fact that player development is the most important thing right now. I do not care about the wins, okay? I care about the player development, and I don't understand why Buzelis can't get more minutes than this, even if he's not closing, okay? Like, he could still get more minutes than this, but he should still be closing, in my opinion, most games every night. But to make the argument that Patrick Williams is playing better than Matas Buzelis recently, okay, I just do not understand this argument whatsoever from Bulls Nation, and it's really pissing me off, okay? And I went ahead and made this little thread. So here's Matas Buzelis' last 5 games, not including tonight, which, if we are paying attention and actually watching the games, okay, I'm not saying Buzelis played well tonight. Defensively, he had a lot of issues tonight where it's trying to stay in front of some guys and got back cut twice, okay? But Matas Buzelis was significantly better than Patrick Williams tonight. Patrick Williams did legitimately nothing out there besides score 1 bucket, okay? He had 2 points and had zeros across the board, all right? So even if you include tonight, Buzelis was better tonight, okay? And so here are the last 5 games before tonight, and let's just look at Matas Buzelis' overall stats. So here is him against New Orleans. Here's him against Charlotte, which I think he was playing just fine in Charlotte. But we'll give Patrick Williams the game in Charlotte because Patrick probably had his best game of the season in Charlotte. But Buzelis was one of like the only scorers in that in the Golden State game, and the Bulls offense was horrific in that game. Buzelis played very well in the Indiana Pacers game, okay? 9 free throws, 19 points, had 12 rebounds overall. And in that Brooklyn game, I thought he was also playing fine, okay? Here is Patrick Williams' last 5 games heading into tonight, okay? And reminder to everybody what Patrick Williams did tonight. Patrick Williams went 1 for 3 and did zeros across the board and had a turnover, okay? Patrick Williams did nothing tonight, all right? But let's look at his last games. 8 points, 2 of 5 shooting. I would argue that Buzelis was better, but some people are going to disagree with me about that in this Pelicans game. Sure, whatever, okay? I give you the Hornets game. I think that Patrick Williams was playing better than Buzelis in the Hornets game, but to me, they're still pretty close. But I say that, yeah, Patrick Williams was better in the Hornets game. But to argue with me and tell me that Matas Buzelis was worse than Patrick Williams recently overall, and just looking at these games, okay, I understand the box score doesn't tell everything, but Jesus Christ, man, the Bulls offense has also suffered, so I need points, and Buzelis had significantly more points in this Golden State game, significantly more points in this Indiana game, okay, and this is definitely maybe a little more of a wash, but I would still pick Buzelis at the end, okay, in that Brooklyn game. But you cannot tell me that Patrick Williams has been significantly better than Matas Buzelis recently. Therefore, Patrick Williams has earned the minutes over Buzelis to either close or get more minutes overall for the season, okay? I would like to remind everybody that Patrick Williams has been overall pretty awful this season, and I don't understand why people are suddenly becoming the Patrick Williams defenders, and it's just because that they're not happy overall with Matas Buzelis' production. But don't tell me that Patrick Williams has had a good season, okay? Don't tell me this whatsoever, because people are starting to say that, yeah, Buzelis is becoming a liability defensively, and don't get me wrong, I'm not happy with some of Buzelis' moments defensively, but he leads the team in blocks, okay? Well, Patrick Williams, right here, kind of into tonight, and his shooting percentage got worse tonight. He was shooting 38% from the field, okay? So if you're going to argue that, oh, Montes Buzelis is a liability defensively, then my argument is that Patrick Williams has been a liability on the offensive end for most of the season. Okay, so you can't tell me that, oh, Patrick Williams is playing significantly better on both sides of the ball compared to Montes Buzelis. Okay, I just do not understand this sentiment whatsoever, and I just cannot with Bulls fans right now, because it just seems like that Golden State game was just wiped from their memory. And I understand that it was a long bit ago because of the whole, in-season tournament, but don't just suddenly just start saying things because Stacey King says things, okay? Stacey King was talking about how well Patrick Williams was playing in the season in that New Orleans Pelicans game. And all of a sudden, the narrative shifts on Twitter after one game, and it's like, oh yeah, Patrick Williams has played pretty well all season long, hasn't he, huh? I wonder who told you guys that. None other than the man named Stacey King that I just cannot stand right now, okay? But in the end, I just, it's utterly shocking, and people just do not want to admit it, but Stacey King has so much sway in this Bulls community, and it's pissing me off at how many people just eat up whatever he says and just start spewing it out from their own mouths as well. Don't listen to everything Stacey King says and believe it's true just because it's from Stacey King. Okay, Patrick Williams has been mostly a liability on offensive end, except when it comes to catch and shoot threes. Okay, this man is horrific when it comes to driving. He is horrific in general from 2-point range. Okay, don't tell me all of a sudden now that he is playing perfectly fine on the offensive end and saying that he's better defensively than Buzelis, therefore he should be getting more minutes than Buzelis. Again, not saying that I think Buzelis has played well. I'm just saying that Patrick Williams has not played well at all and has been one of the worst players in the league. Therefore, I do not think that you should suddenly just be shifting the narrative to that, oh yeah, we should just be playing Buzelis, or playing Patrick Williams over Buzelis now because Buzelis has not earned the time over Patrick Williams, which is just like, where the hell is this coming from? And all I can think about is just that, oh yeah, it's Stacey King. Stacey King talked about that, and he said that he thinks that Patrick Williams has played well even during the losing streak, when I'm like, no, he has not. Patrick Williams was awful during the losing streak, and it's not shocking to say that at all. Yeah, Pat had one bad game Montes had was only bad game Montes had was GS. No, even Golden State, to me, I don't even think that the Golden State game from Buzelis was bad. Okay, like this is Buzelis' Golden State game. It was 16 points. Like, yeah, he didn't rebound that well, but he had 3 steals and was one of the biggest Bulls scorers this game because no one was scoring. And if you remember, he got bopped in the nose in this one, and he had to come out in the third quarter because of it. But like, he wasn't benched because he wasn't playing well. But all of a sudden now, it's just like people just forget that the Golden State game happened, and we're like, yeah, Patrick has played better than Montes Buzelis recently. I'm like, what do you mean recently? Are we going off one game? Because then I would have made the argument that heading into tonight that Kevin Huerter had played better than Josh Giddey recently, because Kevin Huerter was the best player in that New Orleans Pelicans game for the Bulls. Like, I don't understand all of a sudden now what Bulls fans are looking at, but we just started saying the word recently, and I'm like, the last 5 games show that Buzelis has been better. The last 10 games show that Buzelis has been better. The entire season shows that Buzelis has been better. Like, just because Patrick had the Charlotte game, it's just all of a sudden now it's like, oh yeah, Patrick is playing better than Buzelis. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I just don't get it, man. Even though his pal was not on the court. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Patrick, like, he didn't check in until the second quarter, and he played some minutes, and then he checked in a little bit in the third quarter, and then a little bit at the end of the game. But like, he was like legitimately nothing out there. He missed, I think, 2 threes, and he made like 1 interior shot. Like, it was basically nothing today. Pat had to get his signature dribble drives turnover for the game to be winnable. Yeah, I mean, we're always waiting for one of those every single game from Patrick, is the typical turnover on the drives. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Are there still fans defending Pat? Are we sure they are Pat's family? I mean, go look at some Bulls content creators right now. I won't call out names, but if you go under, this is a person that is not saying this, but there was a lot of discourse under one of the posts. Go look at CHGO, and I'll even send the link to the tweet, okay? Because this was getting a lot of headlines today. I was just not headlines, but just a lot of traction today. I was honestly getting pissed off, and I saw a bunch of posts, not just this one, about like, yeah, I think Patrick has earned the right. And I even had someone on Twitter today was arguing to me that it was about the defense and everything, that Patrick has been better, and I'm just like, I just disagree. Like, I just don't understand this at all. But here is Dave from CHGO. So again, Dave is not saying what he is not saying that Patrick Williams has been better than Buzelis. He has not said that, okay? But go look at the just look at the replies. And so, just I'll just very quickly just bring this up on the screen, okay? But as you see here, you can get a sentiment immediately from certain people. And as you can see, there are certain words being said that's like, Pat has been better, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, I'm sorry, but like, why is it all of a sudden are we just defending Patrick Williams suddenly? Like, this is not a guy that I think we should be defending by any means. And oh, by the way, in a win tonight, he was basically nothing on the floor. So, I don't know. I'm just pointing things out that I just am like, hey, now, like, I don't get it. I don't think that suddenly we just decide, like, yeah, this guy gets a pass for, we think that because this guy's been disappointing that this guy gets a pass, and we're like, yeah, this guy's played better than this guy. I'm like, when has this happened? Like, it just hasn't. Besides that Charlotte game, which was one game. And again, if we're counting tonight, Buzelis was better tonight. It wasn't like he played amazing, but he was just better tonight because Patrick did legitimately nothing tonight. So, sorry to everybody, the Patrick Williams defenders, which I'm shocked that there's even still people out there that are talking about this. And I don't know if I would call them Patrick Williams defenders outright, but they're just kind of saying some things, and it's just like, huh. I'm more convinced those tweets are from Pat's family. Yeah, they're not. Some of those people are like actual Bulls content creators. They're not fully like on YouTube in terms of like making YouTube videos or stuff, but like they're like actually like legit content creators. So maybe they got paid off by Pat's family, but they're like legit content creators in the Bull space. I know a couple of them in some ways, I'll say. But Bulls finally got a blow up one. Nicky probably like, see, this team is fine, no changes needed. Oh, I'm for sure thinking that he's gonna take this and run with it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I 100% believe that AK is going to use this win and be like, oh yeah, this team is totally fine. Meanwhile, though, the Cavs have been utterly horrible recently, and we're just, ignoring the fact that, yeah, the Cavs have sucked. Are those tweets geotagged from North Carolina? I haven't fully researched into that, but, maybe I should. Look, man, I'm not here to bash fully Patrick Williams on his play and everything and call him always just be horrible, but listen, man, he has not played well this season, okay? And I would hope that he would have the same like sentiment about his play, that he just has absolutely been awful this season. Like, I think that he would hold himself to a higher standard, but I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he just is happy with how he's playing and he's getting his money, but he's not played well. And look, I'm not saying Buzelis has played like, well or great either, but I think that people had way too high of expectations for Buzelis, and what we're seeing is, year 2 development, where it's like the sophomore slump is kind of happening for him, and he has a lot to work on. Don't get me wrong. Like his overall like point of attack defense has been disappointing in various moments, but what did I predict? Okay, remember, if you guys did not watch my video, then go watch it. But in my predictions for the season, okay, I predicted for Buzelis that he'd average 14 points per game and then also be in the top 10, I believe, which was a blocks per game. And right now, like, he's almost there, I think. Like, I have to double check the blocks per game, but like, he's averaging 13.6 points per game. Like, for the people that thought he was going to come in and like start averaging 17, 18, or even 20, okay, like, as you see, like, that was wrong, right? But I'm not saying that Buzelis has played well. He's more recently, he's had a lot of moments that were pretty frustrating to watch defensively, but like, you can't tell me that like Patrick has like suddenly become like this all-world defender that he's like, yeah, he needs to be on the floor now. Or like Patrick has, I would argue that Patrick has had a lot of bad moments defensively, past like that Orlando Magic game, of game 2 of the season. Okay, but like I understand that he played pretty well in that Charlotte and that Pelicans game defensively, but he is not all around been better than Buzelis. I just don't understand this at all. And it's not just the guy saying that, oh, he's been better just defensively. They're saying that he's been better all around. I'm like, what are you talking about? That is just utterly wrong. But you know, it's everyone's opinion, I guess, when it comes to this. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just, I guess, accept it. Like, it's just suddenly now this is just what we're talking about. Blocks per game heading into tonight. Let's see here. I mean, who else is doing it? Like, there's a blocks per game. He's top 10 right now. Like, this is exactly what I said I wanted from Buzelis this season. It was 14 points per game and trying to get into the top 15, I believe it was. Maybe it was top 10 in terms of blocks per game. I'll have to double check my video, but like this is what I was expecting. So until something else changes here, where it's like he's not giving me this level of production throughout the season. Which, yeah, like tonight, for example, like he only got 1 rebound. That's not enough. I understand that, but he's arguably been the Bulls' 3rd best rebounder on the team. And so if this continues at a bad rate where he's not rebounding enough, then yeah, I'm gonna be flat out, you know, calling him out. But for what my expectations were, I'm fine. Patrick, on the other hand, like I had no expectations, and I'm still disappointed with him. So I don't know. I have my thoughts, but those are my thoughts at the end of the day, and you know, people can have their own. J Talks Hoops. So that's Justin. He's a Bulls content creator. So I'm not gonna, you know, bash him on my behalf or anything like that. I'm just saying that he's a Bulls content creator. So yeah, he's in Chicago. Guys been like the Bulls, lots of injuries. So they've had some injuries. Like Mobley's the most recent. But this team should still be better than they are right now. I'm shocked at how the Cavs are playing. I think that their bench got nuked from the Ty Jerome being lost, which has taken a major hit to them. I also just think Garland just doesn't look the same. Like, I think Garland needs to actually come in and look good, and he just isn't. And DeAndre Hunter has also been extremely disappointing. There was like a lot of overreaction to him after the trade happened, and like, hey, I even kind of bought into it, but Hunter's been honestly pretty disappointing for them this season. So I do think that's kind of really hurting them right now, because they don't have Max Strus. He had foot surgery. And so, you know, obviously now they're missing their second best player, maybe like, you know, on some days their best player in Mobley. And so it's up to the others kind of pick up the slack right now. And it's just like, man, Garland, like he is just, and man, I do always talk about small guards, but I don't know what to talk about with this guy. Like he is having a horrifically rough season for him, to start at least. I understand that he's had some injuries as well, but this has been a rough year for him. Like 28% from 3-point range is atrocious. He's not found his shot all season long, but he's also not big, so it's like, you know, him getting to the basket is not something that's going to be easy. So I really do think that Garland declining like this to this level has really hurt them. And then they you know, they lost some guys off the bench. So many tweets are an indictment of the education system. I won't say anything. Brian, I just won't say anything. Who knows how much this would be doing if Billy just let him play his own game. I mean, yeah, who knows, man. Patrick is a 9-5 bench play with solid defense. I still can't believe Giddey took 11 threes. Is the 3-point improvement real? Surely it's consistent enough over the last half of the last season. Now, what are your thoughts? Oh, yeah. I think Giddey's improvement from 3 is definitely real. I just need him to shoot more like how he did tonight. I'm not saying I need 11 threes every night, but like the problem with him is just that, as I've talked about with everybody, you can have a good percentage. Like, for example, as we were just recently talking about Patrick Williams, okay? Patrick Williams came in tonight shooting 42% from 3-point range, but it's not that effective if you're not shooting enough, right? Like, you need to shoot more threes and also shoot 42% from there. Like, that's where it eventually becomes effective. And this is the reason why, again, I've talked about with Isaac Okoro, where a lot of people are like, yeah, his 3-point percentage looks fine. And it's just like, no, like, his percentage looks okay, but his overall volume of threes is not that high, and it's still the case this season. And the 3-point percentage is down a little bit. So with Giddey, like, yeah, I do think that the overall, like, he has improved. Don't get me wrong. I just wish this number is higher. Because I think that this 3-point percentage would have a major effect more on his overall output of each game if he's shooting closer to 6-7 threes a game. Okay, if he's shooting this number, okay, from 3-point range, which, I mean, the 3-point percentage went up tonight for him. If he's shooting 40% from 3-point range on 6, 7, 8 attempts, that is significantly more impactful as a 3-point shooter for him versus him shooting 40% on 4.5 attempts. So don't get me wrong, it's great that he's at this level already of shooting, 40% on 4.5 attempts. Like, both are career highs, but I do wish that it was more threes taken, because that would show that he's like a legitimate 3-point threat versus him just being like, yeah, he shoots a pretty good percentage, but he doesn't take a lot. Like, there's a difference. Because defenses are going to be thinking instead, if he's shooting a lot, right, then defenses are thinking he's a good 3-point shooter and he's willing to pull the trigger at any moment, right? He is a legitimate 3-point threat at all moments, right? But if it's not as many 3-point shots, then he's a good 3-point shooter, but he isn't going to shoot it as often. So, it would bring more gravity to him as a player overall. But I'm very happy with his overall improvement already. Like, I can't talk about how much I've been impressed by it, because I never thought he'd get to this point. And so I'm thoroughly impressed with what I've seen so far. I think Giddey is not near as good as the numbers look for threes, but he can hit open shot well enough. Though, if, say, KD was taking the shots Giddey was taking, it would be like 90%. Wait, what? Oh, in terms of, like, KD is shooting like the open 3-point looks. If KD got that, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I do think though that even on some closeouts where, like, I think the defender's in Giddey's face, like, I think Giddey's still hitting a pretty decent amount where it's like, yeah, there's a defender there, and he still made it. Hunter came off the bench last year with the core starting and guarding the other team's best perimeter scorer. Yeah, he hasn't not been the best that good this season. Like, he has not been very productive, unfortunately. Yeah, his overall percentages are not great. Obviously, it's an unfair comparison, but the point more being about Giddey can just take open shots, but that's enough for me to be honest, to hold a defense accountable, have a use. For Giddey to shoot more threes, he would have to be taking some partially covered ones, and he just can't take those well enough. He just shoots open threes, and that is all. I do wish, though, that even on some of the open ones, like, I do think that there's even some moments where, like, he's open, and, like, he doesn't take it. And it's just because, like, it's just not in his nature. But I do think that he needs to maybe increase his shot attempts, because, like, I mean, tonight, like, for example, let's be clear tonight, if he didn't take the 11 threes he took tonight, like, he could have been, like, let's just say, for example, like, if he was like 3 for 3 from 3 tonight, but he didn't take the open looks that he had tonight, I'd be upset, because he needs to take those threes no matter what. So if the defense is gonna give it to you, right, you gotta take those looks. So I would personally argue that he needs to still shoot more. But yeah, I understand. Again, he's a pass first guy. He just is not gonna. That's just not in his nature. So, yeah. So to be clear though, then if, let's say, for example, he only maxes out at 5 threes attempted per game, it's very impressive improvement for him to get to 40%. It's just the fact that he's not taking as much. He's just not as big of a 3-point threat. Compared to other people who take a lot more and shoot same percentage or better at the end of the day. Yeah, he has a very specific 3-point shot selection, but he has changed from just wide open catch and shoots to actually walking the threes or going around screens and shooting, which he didn't do too much. So unfortunately, Jordan, the around screens is not true. Like, he did hit one recently. I'm trying to remember the game. I think it was against the Pelicans, but I may be wrong. And that was like off the dribble, like off a pick and roll where the defender went under the screen. But unfortunately, he is not, for the most part, he still is not really taking that many threes off picks. His pick and roll game is still something that needs a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, like, just walking into 3-point shots, like in transition, which is great. Like he has taken a few that he's like kind of dribbled into a few. That's like, yeah, that's good. defense backs off, you dribble into it, and you're just open. Like, yeah, just shoot it. You know, for example, like the Trey Jones steal, right? Like that Trey Jones steal at the end of the second quarter, where Trey Jones, you know, the Cavs got the ball off the, I think it was a Collins missed free throw or something, but Trey Jones comes in, steals it, and it goes to Giddey, and Giddey's wide open from 3-point range. Like that's huge. Like he needs to shoot that for sure, and I don't know if he shoots that maybe even last season. So that's good overall improvement, but he is not overall in terms of his like shooting off of like screens. That's not something he's done yet, at least consistently. Let's just let's see about his pull-up percentage. Honestly, I'm kind of interested now that we're talking about it, because like his pull-up percentage earlier this season was it was pretty rough. Here, honestly, this is pretty good from him. It's not a lot, as you see. It's 1.2 attempted, but this is very good. This is a good sign. Now, overall pull-up field goal percentage is not good, as I've seen him take, you know, pull-up mid-range shots that definitely don't go down. Little pull-ups in the paint that are non-restricted area that also don't go down. But this is a good sign. This is very good. So, again, this is not showing off his screens or anything like that, but this is a good sign that he's here. And so we'll go to totals now. Oh, I have to go back to yeah, so he's taken 29 pull-up 3-point shots. He's made 11. So yeah, that's a very good sign. He needs to. In my honest opinion, I want these numbers higher, right? Like I want more attempted. I just know that I'm probably not going to get that. So I can live with him not taking as many pull-up threes, but if he's ever open, man, like I want him to shoot that catch and shoot three. That's something I really want him to start looking for. Yeah, I'm very much aware if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So I'll live if it doesn't happen at the end of the day. Why doesn't this have teams? What the fuck? Okay, sorry, that's weird. From ME.com. Let's see, his catch and shoot 3-point percentage. Yeah, this is very solid. 42.6 on catch and shoot threes. Now, there is a little bit of an argument that you kind of need this a tiny bit higher, because that pull-up 3-point shot won't be like 37% moving forward, but I'm overall fine with it. Like, because if, for example, okay, let's not show this, and we're not going to go teams, but totals. And we're going to filter it so that field goals attempted. How many games we into the season? 25-ish, around there. I'll just say 50 for now. So some of the better like players, right? Like in terms of like making sure that 3-point percentage is high. And so for a prime example, at least in my opinion, is always like Norman Powell. Like Norman Powell is a guy that like his 3-point percentage is great. And you know, he's increases his volume and he's kept this percentage very high. But what he did last season, and I'm sure he's even doing it this season as well, is that, and this I wrote this in my Kobe article that I wrote, but the catch and shoot, like, you know, this season maybe is at 46%. Last season I think it was even higher. No, it wasn't. Okay, it was 45. Okay, but pretty much though, it's just like you have to be like a high catch and shoot percentage because this is a tougher shot, right? And so like who knows how long like this is gonna last for like Norman Powell. It probably won't last at 40%. So for example, last season went down to 37.8, right? So that's what get you shooting now. But Powell obviously, you know, he shoots a lot more. But the argument is just that if you don't have like that pull-up game like fully mastered, like your catch and shoot game has to be like very, very mastered. And so looks like Giddey's on track for improving both right now, but if that pull-up game doesn't stick, right, then we're gonna have to talk about him working on that catch and shoot to just be like even higher, or just eliminate the pull-up game. That's just an option as well. But yeah, again, overall, I'm very pleased with him. I I again never thought that Giddey's gonna ever get to this point, and yeah, it's mightily impressive with what he's done so far. So yeah, this is good to see. So he is. I just saw it. Where'd he go? He's here. So yeah. As you see, though, there's a lot of guys though that still are like they're still shooting insane percentages. Like Tyrese Maxey shoots a lot of pull-up threes, but I mean he's just a bullseye when it comes to catch and shoot 3-point shots. Like catch and shoot shots from 3-point range are very, very important in today's world, because like that's something that is like heavily utilized now in the offense. The occasion he is open doesn't take for sure, though. You can guess closer to 0.5 per game or 1. I can agree with that. And there's probably more games that are just like it's a little bit more prevalent in some games versus others, but I can agree with that. Yeah. But he shoots fairly slowly when he goes in for a setup. Yeah, that is definitely the problem with him, is that why you can't really fully rely on him to like shoot off the dribble. So I understand. I agree that walking and shooting is also evolution. Duncan has also noted. I should say the pull-up 3 that he sometimes has said. It's something I like to see. A few more mid-range shots return to the offense. Maybe that's the place for Matas to work. I mean, I wouldn't like fully be opposed to it, but again, it just has to be like I don't want a mid-range shot with like 18 seconds left in the shot clock, right? 18 seconds, like we need to make sure that the offense is still geared towards the more efficient shots, and so taking a pull-up mid-range shot, you know, from 18 feet out with like 16 left in the shot clock is just not a good shot. Unless like obviously the defense is completely just decide not to guard you, and like there's no reason to step back for a 3-point shot. Like it just there's very, very minimal ways for me to be like, yeah, that's a good shot. But like yeah, if it's like later in the shot clock and Buzelis is a pull-up 3, sure, I'm all, or pull-up mid-range, sure, I'm all for it. I've always said that for everybody. Like if it's a late shot clock violation or late shot clock situation and we need to just get a shot up on the rim, like yeah, I'm all for taking the mid-range if you can't find a way to attack the paint or can't generate a 3-point look. That's fine. But it's just we can't be looking to take mid-range shots early. That's just something I'm not going to be ever for right now. Overall, Giddey just holds what he's doing so far this season for the remainder. That's a great step for his development. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I fully agree. I would then hope like then the next season like he's taking more, but I understand again if he doesn't, it's okay. Kobe's numbers on the other hand with pull-ups, yeah. So that was my article, was just that Kobe does not shoot pull-ups that well for the most part in his career. Kobe had one season where he shot better from pull-ups than in terms of than catch and shoots, which is just so odd from him. Like I don't know why that happened, but it did. Bulls are back in the play-in tournament. Woohoo! Yeah. But yeah, like Kobe needs to, for him, he needs to adjust his like pull-up right now is awful. But what I talked about in the article is like he needs to just significantly increase his 3-point catch and shoot percentage, because I don't really see him ever becoming a good pull-up 3-point shooter. Like, for example, like last season, for example, like this averages out to about 37%, right? But which is you can see here, but it's like he's just kind of, unfortunately, he's below average in both of these, I think, or he might be like at average here, but like this is below average in terms of catch and shoot, and so it's just like, huh, that's interesting. And this was the 1 year that his pull-up 3-point percentage was higher than his catch and shoot. But if you kind of just go through it, like it's just like it's consistent that every year it's like catch and shoot is better, but it's like not that amazing. And so like we talked about, like Powell was able to increase that catch and shoot percentage up to 46%, right? That's what Kobe needs to do. As a reminder, he himself said in my own article on On Top Sportsnet that he wants to shoot 40% or better from 3-point range. And that's great, and I want that for him because it's going to help him become a more efficient scorer overall. But like he's going to have to significantly work on areas of his game, and I'm specifically talking about his catch and shoot game, to help him get to where I think he needs to be. So I'm heavily interested in seeing how this is going to work out for him, because it's been a rough start to the season. It's been really rough. it's been a really rough start to the season for him when it comes to his overall percentages. So I'm not loving what I've seen from him so far. Giddey and Montes are solid pieces, but we still need the elite number one to be anywhere close to O'Brien. I agree. Yeah, I do think that. So to be clear, I've been very much like, I think Buzelis has a chance to become All-Star. But like I also was very much aware that like there's a bigger chance that he doesn't, right? However, I do think he has the best potential out of the three guys of White, Giddey, and himself. But right now it looks like if there's anyone's gonna be an All-Star, it's gonna be Giddey this season, and maybe for the future here. But I am in agreement though with Ryan that I don't think that these two, like if it's gonna be like, for example, it's gonna be Buzelis and Giddey leading the charge, that is not gonna be a winning team moving forward. If you're built around Giddey and Buzelis, it's just in the expectation that Buzelis does not become an All-Star, because I don't like there's a higher chance he doesn't become one. Then yeah, you're looking at probably him just being like solid starter, which is also fine. Like, don't get me wrong, it's 11th overall pick. But yeah, we're still looking for that guy, right? And I do think that Giddey can be a good piece to the team. It's just that I need to see the defensive effort that I saw tonight, versus, you know, the defensive effort I saw against Indiana, or even against New Orleans. It's just like, bro, like I need better effort than that, right? So yeah, there's still ifs even about some of these pieces here. Like Buzelis is definitely an if right now. Like I am very much aware that his 3-point percentage has dipped suddenly, and his defense right now is like kind of iffy. It's not great. I am also with Giddey still, like as good as he's been this season, has been the Bulls' best player, but like he is having like there was a chart that I did see, like Giddey touches the ball an insane amount every game, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, he's a great passer, but if this guy's touching the ball this many times like in the game, then I need him to score more than 20. And so like I asked for 20 this season, but like moving forward, like Giddey's gonna have to show more in terms of if he's gonna be touching the ball like 95 times a game, then I need him to score more than 20 points per game. That's gonna have to be something with him as like the main ball handler, which for my opinion, I don't think he's gonna be the main ball handler moving forward. I think that's where the Bulls need to find somebody still. But can Giddey then slide over to being like the small forward or something like that? I definitely think he could. Especially if he continues shooting this well from 3-point range and still rebounding this well. Like, yeah, it's just gonna be the big if defensively. And with White, I mean, in my head, unfortunately, I just don't see Kobe being part of this team's future. I know that the Bulls think differently right now, but it's gonna be really interesting to me how it's gonna work out with Kobe, because I unfortunately with him, like he scores like even when he's struggling, he's still finding a way to get to 20. The defensive issues with him though just really make me grind my gears, and he's not like unfortunately when it comes to scoring, like if that's your main thing, like I there is just such a big emphasis on efficiency right now in today's world, that if he's scoring 21 on inefficient shooting, it's just like like there's just better ways we can run things. So I hate to say it, like I know that some people love Kobe to death right now. It's just that I just think that we're at this crossroads where it's like, Kobe, look man, like you've turned yourself into a better player than I even thought that he would. Like I was not very high on Kobe after year 3 for him. Like he was like, this was a guy that I was like, bro, I don't know. Like he just kind of seems like he's just gonna be like a kind of scorer off the bench for his career. Yeah, I was not really happy with him after like really year 3, which like that was actually one of his better years. But it just kind of like told me, I'm like, oh okay, like this is kind of his role for a team. But yeah, he had that big year in year 5 where he, was starting point guard every day. But on that team, he wasn't the main guy, right? That was the year Levine got injured, and that was DeRozan, right? Was the main ball handler for the team. So, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Kobe. His trade value is definitely not great. But yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be part of this team's future, just because like Giddey's already a question mark defensively, and now even people are calling Buzelis a question mark defensively. And so it's just like, all right, I mean, you can only have so many guys that are question marks defensively. So yeah, make some decisions. And there's a reason why, like, if you're wondering why I've been saying, like, you know, no one should be safe, like, and this includes Giddey, like, I mean, Giddey's a question mark defensively still in my book, so move on from him. Like, it eliminates a question mark if you can find someone that can play defense and also give you great offensive output. But I'm aware that a lot of people don't want to do it. But with Kobe, I'm like, brother, like, I think you might need to go, especially if you're gonna be keeping Giddey. So we talked about already trades a lot when it comes to Kobe, like trade ideas. I'm all for the Timberwolves trades. I know a lot of people aren't, but that's my opinion overall. I'm on, if the Giddey just shoots open, it's a useful player to always be on the court, assuming the percentages are there and his other skills. Yes, I agree with that. But again, defensively he needs to be there. Like, I can't have him, like, because I think his points per game is going to go down if he does move less time on the ball. And so, like, even I'm just saying, like, let's say his like points per game goes down to like 18. Okay, then like he needs to be solid defensively. I'm not asking for, you know, all defensive level defense. I'm just saying he needs to be solid defensively. Because yeah, I'll gladly be taking his 3-point percentage, his rebounding, and his assisting, if he's going to give me the defensive effort, and I need that. But he has good hands. It's just the fact that he doesn't give the effort sometimes. Kobe pull-ups are the shit selections of random early clock ones, I swear. Some of them are. There's some that are definitely like open for Kobe that he just needs to make. And that's just not him. Another note, Cooper Flag is what people said he was. Folks on socials calling out Buzelis' defense. Yeah. So, for example, for all the people that were on Kendall Gill's side when Kendall Gill said that we don't need Cooper Flag, we already have him, which, look, even as a big Buzelis fan myself, I said that getting Cooper Flag is the right decision. Like, why would you not want him? It's such a stupid argument that I just don't understand for some people saying that, oh no, we already have Cooper Flag. I'm like, okay, you could have Cooper Flag, but adding another Cooper Flag is not a problem. Like, that's a good thing. Having talent in the NBA is a good thing. Like, if you're gonna argue with me that, oh, I shouldn't have two Kevin Durant's on the same team, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I would gladly take two Kevin Durant's on the same team. Like, Jesus, man. It's just, I'll take two Jason Tatums on the same team. I'll take two Kate Cunninghams on the same team. Like, talent is just best. And yes, maybe it just wouldn't, like, you know, I know, like, some people are like, well, what about two Luka Doncic's? Like, I understand, like, there's that sort of like, oh god, like, what do you do? But like, no matter what, you take the talent, because then you can move the talent. Like, if it's not gonna work out, then yeah, just send out one of them, okay, and make the talent and you keep the better talent of the two, and you then send out the other if it's not gonna work, and get better talent to fit around your better talented player that you're not sending out. Like, I just, the whole idea that, oh, we didn't need Cooper Flag, we already had him, it's just like, brother, we don't have Cooper Flag, and now Cooper Flag is setting records as an 18-year-old, and it's just like, oh my god. Yeah, I would have loved to have that in a Bulls uniform, huh? Man, if only we didn't lose a coin flip. Don't know what people should expect though. And so here's the thing about Buzelis that I want to explain to people. I always thought of Buzelis as an off-ball defender as his strength. Okay, now don't get me wrong, his on-ball defense needs to get better if he's going to be a starting caliber player. But like, I never looked at like Buzelis's like on-ball defense is like he's going to be like this like really good point of attack defender, and he's going to be able to stop multiple positions at all at once. Like, I never looked at him that way. I said that I think he can guard some smaller guards because of his ability to recover with his length and athleticism, but that does not mean that like he's gonna suddenly be able to guard every position at a high level. I never said that. Okay, his Buzelis' strength on the defensive end, in my opinion, is his shot blocking, and the ability to rim protect effectively. And guess what? He is leading the team in blocks, okay? Like, I don't know what people really want. And yes, he has been bad on some moments when it comes to defensive rotations. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to, like, defend him on that. He has missed some defensive rotations, okay? But legitimately, everyone has on this damn team, okay? Like, everybody on this team has messed up their defensive rotations, okay? So you can't just only blame Buzelis for missing defensive rotations, okay? Everybody has missed them, and everybody could do a significantly better job on their defensive rotations on this team, okay? Don't tell me it's only Buzelis, okay? It's everybody. But people asking him to be like this insanely good defender against guys like Donovan Mitchell, I'm like, what the fuck are you expecting? Like, that's an insane thing to ask for from anybody, okay? Like, you could put the best defender on Donovan Mitchell, and I'm like, brother, the dude's gonna still score. Like, I don't, like, put Dyson Daniels on Donovan Mitchell, he's still gonna score. I don't know why people just suddenly think that, oh yeah, Buzelis should be able to lock up these guys. Like, no, I didn't expect this. So I just don't understand what we're looking at right now, but that's my opinion. And is he still better than Patrick Williams recently? Yes. Like, Patrick did nothing tonight. And Patrick's defense, which I don't even think is that great, like, yeah, he can kind of guard Zion Williamson. Okay. But Patrick isn't a guy, like, getting steals or blocks. Buzelis is significantly better in both those departments. I'm taking the playmaking versus just like, oh, yeah, he doesn't get moved around, I guess. Like, okay. So what? Pat also has slow feet, man. I don't know what people are fully looking at, but sure. Scoring versus touches doesn't matter. It's if they can win when he touches it that much, right? And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander touches it like 60 per game or whatever. It was like 50 per game. Meanwhile, though, like, there's guys getting like 95 touches, and it's just like Giddey's not Jokic, he's not Cade Cunningham, he's not Luka Doncic. So I'm like, okay, like, I think we can take away some of those touches, and Giddey's still an effective player, and you can give it to someone else that is going to probably be like your main scorer, and that's totally fine. And I think Giddey still gets plenty of touches. Like, it's just how it goes. But yeah, we'll see how it works out. Kobe's trade value is so annoyingly low. Likely right now. Oh, I agree. Yeah, it's bad. Injuries, calf issues, and his recent play, which until tonight, obviously. I think Trey's most tradable asset, and it's that one to let go. In terms of what could give you the most value in return, yes, I agree. I do think that Trey Jones is probably the most tradable in terms of like team-friendly contract and what you can get the most value and what teams are actively looking for right now from this squad. Yeah. Giddey can say an average defense for an extended period. Any question mark should go or trade. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. But the problem is that Giddey's defense has been like, he's had many moments of just like flat out disgusting level of defense, just as everyone else is on this team. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, I'm like, bro, like that Pacers game is gonna live in my memory for a while. Where I'm just like, what? And it's not just him, but it's like everybody was like running out there and just not contesting threes well. They're not closing out under control. Giddey was a part of that, and I'm like, man, I need Giddey to show me better level defense than this. Others like also need better level, but like you're also not starting maybe. So at least has good mental capacity for defense, even if he doesn't have athletic chops and wingspan. Yes, he has the hands and the timings that I think he can be effective, and obviously defensive rebounding is part of defense, so he has that for him. Two Giddeys could work. Oh yeah, some players don't work together. That's a trade asset, right? Yeah. Like I said, like two Luka Doncic's probably don't work, but you trade one of them. Like, that's an incredible trade asset if you just don't trade it for Anthony Davis. The Bulls don't need a power forward, right? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Like, I personally think Buzelis is the 4, but I know a lot of people think he's the 3. So, I don't know. Like, honestly, what would happen if Cooper Flagg was here? Like, are we talking about, oh my god, they play the same position, yada 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 yada? I'm just like, I don't care. Like, just put one of them at point guard or something, which I know that Cooper Flag at point guard didn't work out, but it's just like, just play both of them. Like, I don't understand. Like, if like everyone's like, oh my god, they both play the power forward or they both play the small forward. I'm like, okay, just play both. Like, what's the big idea all of a sudden now where we're like freaking out over like specific positions in a positionless league? Like, Jesus, man. Not looking for P. Will. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, my bad. my bad. I forgot the man that is the most important to some Bulls people right now for some stupid reason. That is the 4th overall pick. And it's from FSU, that came off the bench at FSU. I am so sorry. I forgot the most important guy. Bulls always coin flip for Magic too. Fuck them coins. Yeah. Who will be coming off the bench for P. Will? Oh my god. Yeah, I gotta imagine it. I would hope not. If Cooper was coming off the bench for P. Will, I would. Oh boy, I would personally be knocking on the United Center every day to fire Billy Donovan or something. Always want for healthy defense too in that shot blocking. I hope for switchability, being there for a passable on whomever and transition chase on future occasionally. Yeah, that's what I also look at with Buzelis. Like, I'm looking for passable switchability. Because what I do think is going to happen is that I think Buzelis is going to be able to guard bigger guys. Like, I think he's going to be able to guard centers eventually. I'm not saying put him at center. I'm just saying that, like, if he gets switched onto a center, like, I think he's going to be able to guard him, like, at a pretty, like, decent rate. Now, the perimeter is going to be where it's going to be the question mark for a lot of these guys. And it's not necessarily the guards. Like, he doesn't, like, weirdly enough, he does a good enough job on, like, the small guards. But it's like the 6'6" wing that can, like, dribble really well. That's, like, getting past him recently. And it's like, okay, that's the guy that I'm going to be probably the most concerned about with Buzelis, that, like, has, like, pretty good speed. Like, that's going to be the guy. And he's going to have to find a way to effectively guard those guys. And again, not saying, like, amazing defense. I'm just saying, like we said, passable defense that he can stick on to those guys for a couple of possessions if necessary. Yeah, and to be clear, I saw, like, if we're all, like, concerned about, like, Asenge again, I saw Asenge as the better perimeter defender. Like, when I watch Asenge, he to me has better perimeter instincts and is, to me, more geared to being a perimeter defender versus Buzelis I look as, like, a help defender and shot blocker and rim protector. Like, that's just, if we're concerned about those two fitting together, like, I saw Asenge as the on-ball defender. So, yeah, like, I don't have much concerns about that. Teams run extra guards. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, definitely. We'll call one in the coin flip. I know Rod Thorne called heads in the coin flip for Magic when tails never fails. I don't know, unfortunately. I don't know if that was ever public. Usually different skills on the court at the time, i.e. rebounding, floor spreading, so on. If it is a few power forwards, wouldn't it be crazy to see if Billy wouldn't start Cooper off the bat or Wemby? Oh my god. Like, that would legitimately, it may not necessarily that they wouldn't be starting, it's just that they'd be playing, like, only, like, 23 minutes a game or something like that, because they made a mistake defensively, or, you know, like, Wemby, like, he had a bad turnover or something, therefore you don't get to close the game tonight. I'm gonna trust Vucevic instead. Like, it just, I'm genuinely, like, if Wemby was here, like, I do really think that his rookie season, like, he'd be getting benched by Billy. Like, he would still start, but, like, he'd probably be getting benched in, like, certain moments. It's just like, why are we benching him? Like, same thing with Cooper. Like, especially at the start of the season when Cooper's kind of, like, figuring everything out. Like, I would be 100% certain that, like, Billy would have benched Cooper to, you know, and after, like, a bad turnover or, like, bad defensive possession, or, like, oh, I'm trying to have you run some plays for you and, like, you're not doing anything well. Like, you know what? Take a seat. I got to play Isaac Okoro instead. Like, it would have just been so terrible. But, you know, man, it's a blessing that they're not under Billy Donovan's stupid, you know, development program that, for some reason, the Bulls have just fully bought into. Jalen Johnson level defensive end and versatility sounds realistic. For Buzelis, maybe I'm wrong about Jalen Johnson, but I feel like Buzelis is probably the better shot blocker, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, okay. So I mean, like, in terms of what I think of Buzelis, like I don't really know if he's gonna get to this moment. Like I do see a world where he does like this is like the potential that I'm hoping for. Like in my head, like yeah, there is a world he gets here. Like he gets to like 22 points per game. But I don't see probably that for him. In a perfect world, he does though. I'd be very happy if he does get there. And then in terms of like rebounding, I also don't know if he's going to be averaging like that many rebounds or that many assists. But Johnson's the better guy in the perimeter probably with his stealing. So like I do agree with that in some aspects. Like I do think that like you can see, you know, some ball handling ability similar to Jalen Johnson, some rebounding ability to Jalen Johnson, and scoring ability. But I do think that they're be kind of like a little bit more different in terms of like their blocks and like their overall like rebounding. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if rookie Ben Simmons, Luka, or Blake Griffin got benched. The 3 best rookie seasons since 2010 easily. Oh, I'd be utterly shocked if Billy Donovan didn't bench Luka Doncic in his first season. Yeah, I'd be utterly shocked if he didn't do it because Luka's not playing defense, right? So he's complaining to the refs constantly. Yeah, it would have happened. I have no doubts about it. Rookie Ben Simmons, I could also see a world. But I actually think that rookie Ben Simmons might have the best chance of sticking because he's gonna be playing defense out there. Blake Griffin, man, if you bench Blake Griffin his rookie season, oh my god, you are just one of the worst coaches ever. Like Blake Griffin his rookie season was so dynamic. Like you're basically taking away like a big reason why the fans are going to the game if you're benching rookie Blake Griffin. Like, God, bro. Like legitimately, that would actually make everyone hate Billy Donovan so much if he benched rookie Blake Griffin. Ugh. I already caught the Cavs for being dog water in this game. I don't know if you did. I definitely did. But you might have also done that. My bad if I didn't see it. But yeah, the Cavs were, oh my god, the Cavs were awful this game. They were genuinely awful. I'm actually like really concerned about the Cavs right now. Like I know I said it earlier, but like I had the Cavs at the top of the Eastern Conference. In my Eastern Conference predictions. It was Cleveland, Detroit, Magic, Knicks, and so very clearly I underestimated the Knicks. Detroit's up there, so I got that right. It didn't look so good early in the season. The Magic are, you know, they're kind of struggling a little bit, but they're on their way up. But the Knicks are, you know, the Knicks look like the best team in the East, arguably. You can argue the Pistons, but the Knicks right now look like the best team in the East. But the Cavs, bro, oh my god. Like it is genuinely concerning seeing what the Cavs are doing. Like the Cavs right now, if playoffs started today, the Cavs are facing the Bulls in the play-in tournament as 9 seed. And if you just look at what they've been doing recently, like it's been rough from them. So here's tonight's game. So they lost to Charlotte, which is ridiculous. They almost lost to Washington. Okay. Which made no sense. Like I was paying attention to this game and I'm just like, what? They lost to Golden State without Steph Curry. Okay. They beat San Antonio, which without Wemby clearly, but then they lost to Portland and Portland's been bad. So I just recently it hasn't been good. And then they were taking L's to Toronto, Atlanta, and Boston previously. So, yeah, I'm like really interested what's going to happen on Friday because, like, again, I think the Bulls right now with how the Bulls are like, at least what I think that their offense should be looking like, and how bad the Cavs look tonight. Like the Cavs defense looks so bad tonight that I'm like, the Bulls should probably just go into Cleveland and just win that game also. The Cavs look so bad, but I'm sure it's not going to be like that easy. Like, you know, I could definitely see an L happening. Like this Bulls team has been extremely inconsistent, but I'm just like, this Cavs team looks so horrific. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it does happen where the Bulls, you know, they sweep this home and away little series. Magic's up there finding a way up. Yeah, the Magic, like, weirdly enough, like since one of at least Banchero or Wagner are gone, they found their way up the standings. So, it's very odd from them, but yeah, they're on their way up. Boston has been surprising to me, man. I think people were underestimating Boston overall. At the start of the season, and they struggled mightily to start the year. They were having a really rough stretch to start the season, but to be at this point as a 4 seed without Tatum is pretty impressive to me. For all things that they've done, again, they made all those trades. Tatum's injured. Derek White, looks, he's back to being Derek White and even better. Jaylen Brown is actually having an insanely good season right now. That was not on my bingo card because I've looked at Jaylen Brown recently as he's been much more inefficient and not exactly giving the best level of defense that we've been typical of seeing from Jaylen Brown, and I was being pretty critical of Jaylen Brown, especially last season. Jaylen Brown last season was not that good. He scored a lot, but he was pretty inefficient. But he's having a really good year, so props to him. They did just lose to Detroit the other day, which that was a fun game to watch. But a lot of people are losing to Detroit right now. So yeah, pretty insanely good season from Jaylen Brown right now. The efficiency is a lot better. This is cool to see. But Derek White finally, he found his 3-point stroke. He's been hitting his threes. This guy was my most improved player of the year. Hasn't shown it yet. He's averaging more points per game, but yeah, it's not enough to win most improved, unfortunately. So I do not think that Peyton Pritchard will be winning that award right now, but who knows? Maybe he goes on an insane run. But he's also been better recently. The way Boston started was awful. Silvio, Lakers will fall off in 76ers. Interesting. Okay, so I don't think the 76ers are going to fall off too bad. Do I expect them to be hovering around here, 6th seed for the rest of the season? I don't know, but I really do feel like they're going to be ending 6, 7, 8. I really feel like they're going to be in this area. I just think Maxi's too good. I think that guy is just straight up willing this team to some victories, and when you have a superstar like that, it does a lot. I do agree that the Lakers are going to be falling a bit because their defense is bad. Oddly enough, though, it's kind of weird, but oddly enough, the Lakers are better when the three of Luka, LeBron, and AR, if all three of them are on the court, they're horrible. But if only one of them is off the court and you have two of them on the court, it doesn't matter. You can mix and match all the different possible combinations. But if it's just two of them on the court, they're just a significantly better team. It's because LeBron at this point is not playing defense. Luka's not the best defender, and Reeves also doesn't play defense. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to look at. Because weirdly enough, I think Luka's the Lakers' second best defender this season, and it's that's it's a bit of Luka trying, but it's also just that's a horrifically built team. Because and I'm talking about people playing because Vanderbilt's not playing, for example, but Marcus Smart, when he's in the rotation, is the best defender. But in that starting lineup though, the best defender in that starting lineup is arguably Luka Doncic. And it's just that's awful. That's not what we need. You can argue Ayton, but it's not Hachimura, I promise you that. And it's not LeBron, so maybe that's my preseason prediction bias, but I feel Lakers don't win big margin games often, etc. too, and Ayton can't hold sufficient. So I do agree that Ayton is not going to be this efficient for the rest of the season, but he has played better than I thought he would, and so the Luka effect on Ayton has been very clear. For sure, defensive limitations, all three. Yeah, I agree. I just don't know what to do. It's LeBron, but he's not really been that good. And Austin Reeves is having an insane season, so I don't want him off the floor. And then Luka's your franchise, and he's having an insane year. So, Luka looks good in shape too. Oh, he looks phenomenal in shape. I don't know what to do if you really Lakers. I'm honestly wondering what Rob Pelinka is kind of thinking for the Lakers moving forward, because like I think that you want to invest into that backcourt of Luka and Reeves, but like that, like to make the team better, like it would honestly be in the Lakers' favor if LeBron just didn't return. So I mean, if LeBron retires, then like, you know, great, but I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say LeBron is not retiring after this season. Unless some sort of catastrophic injury does happen, because if LeBron was retiring, I think there'd be a big, humongous, you know, farewell tour going on right now, and we would all know about it, and LeBron would make sure that we know about it. So I do not think LeBron's retiring this season or after this season. So I don't know, go back to Cleveland and save Cleveland once again. But yeah, I think if you're the Lakers, like you want to invest into that backcourt. And LeBron going away would actually really help the Lakers because they'd have a lot of money to work with. But I agree. I think the Lakers are going to fall. I think Houston is going to go up. I just don't know how high. Like, I think Houston can get the 3 seed. Like, can they get past Denver? I think at this point, maybe not. But I do think that Houston's going to go up to probably the 3 seed here. I think the Lakers are going to fall. Minnesota just had a bad L tonight, but they didn't have Anthony Edwards, so I don't really know how to feel about Minnesota still. I think, God, Golden State's pissing me off, man. I think Golden State's gonna go up. I'm not adamant that this is gonna be the Golden State Warriors of this season. Like, I'm gonna be so mad if this is the Golden State Warriors for this year when I picked them to win the championship this season. Like, I'm gonna be so pissed off if this is gonna be Golden State. But I refuse to believe, because of just my overall stubbornness, that this is gonna be the Golden State Warriors for the year of being a 500 team in the Western Conference. I refuse. That's not gonna fly with me. So I think Golden State's gonna go up, because I had them at the 3 seed this season. I don't know if they're gonna be there at this point, but there's a world. But I refuse it. Like, Curry is having an insane year, and I'm just like, bro, if you waste this Curry year, like, I'm gonna lose my mind. And I just keep sitting here thinking to myself, like, yeah, the Warriors, like, overall, like their salary cap situation is obviously not great. Like, they're always like right up near the first apron, they're hard capped, etc., etc. But I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, you have these picks to move. Like, yeah, I'm not picking anyone from the Grizzlies. I'm just like looking at the like draft picks, but I'm just like, bro, like, move your picks. Like, you have all your first round picks, man. Like, move these picks. Trade these away, because Curry is everything. Like, I don't really care what happens from here on out. Like, Curry is somehow having such an insane year in his age 38 season. I'm just like, bro, just invest. Like, you have a guy, I guess, or sorry, age 37. Like, this dude is playing insane. Like, he's put up better numbers than last season. And I'm like, why can't you invest this? Like, just invest into this man. I think Jimmy's not, like, Jimmy overall for the season has been like pretty all right, but like I do think that they could get more from him, but I don't know if I can expect more from him at this point. So I don't know. They need to trade Kuminga ASAP or get the most value back in return for him, but like make a big move or something, because I refuse that this is gonna be the Golden State team of this season. I'm gonna be pretty pissed off if it is. Because I just want to see Steph have, like, you know, a good run at least to end his like great years. Because, like, I mean, I didn't expect this. Like, I thought maybe we expect a little bit of a decline, but like, holy shit, bro, this dude's putting up like 35-point performances like it's nothing still. I'm like, oh my god. All right, like, if he's gonna be shooting this well, then okay, let's make sure that we invest properly into this man and we don't just waste this season. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting moving forward. Let's see here. So I think these are firmly the top 2 teams in the East right now. Like, I do think that these are these are the top 2. The Raptors are very confusing to me. I don't know what to think of them. Like, they have some seriously bad losses, but some great wins. Um, I feel I want to believe in this Cleveland team, but after what I saw tonight, man, this Cleveland team looks awful. Miami's going through their little rough patch right now, but I don't expect them to be this bad moving forward. And I expect Milwaukee to be at least better than us. So, I don't know. We'll find a way probably to play in tournament still, but when Giannis comes back, I expect Milwaukee to be better than us, but we'll see how much ground we gain on them. All right, so to wrap up tonight. Again, I think Giddey was player of the game. You know, all around, like, and I mean, like, sincerely, all around great game from Giddey. Like, all around, like, on both ends of the floor. Love the 3-point shots. He was all around very good tonight, and I was happy to see that from him. So, good about him. Trey Jones was also incredible. I think he deserves the silver medal tonight. And so I'll probably give it to Kobe as number 3, but then Vooch also has a pretty good argument for number 3 as well. But much better overall performance tonight. They showed actual defensive capabilities finally, and you're not just like outscoring the opponent, right? Like you didn't just like outscore them like you did in Charlotte. You went out there and actually played some defense. Zone looked good. And I'm interested in seeing how it's gonna play again on Friday, because we get to face this exact same Cleveland team on Friday here. So we know what to expect. Mitchell's gonna score 30. Okay. So find a way to make sure that he doesn't go off for more. Okay, if you can keep him in the 30s, I think you did a good job, honestly, because I do expect this Cleveland team is going to be heavily depending on Mitchell moving forward, because like very clearly he's like the only guy in offense on the perimeter that can actually generate some shots right now. So he's gonna have the ball in his hands a ton, and he wants the responsibility. He can handle it. He's an absolute superstar. Like I have full faith in Mitchell still going out there. But if you're the Bulls, right, try to limit so that he doesn't get 40 plus. So if you can limit him into 30s, like he's gonna get 30. So if you can limit him to below 40, I think you did a good job. You know, context, like we'll need more context, but like, you know, in general, a decent job. The Bulls need to find a way to replicate this 2-3 zone defense again, because reminder to start this game, the Cavaliers scored 28 points with 5:24 left remaining in the first quarter. Okay, they had 28 points with over 5 minutes left in the first quarter, which was a sign of like, yeah, the Bulls defense wasn't very solid for all night long. There's definitely a little bit in the second quarter where I thought the defense wasn't too good, and then even the third quarter, right, I thought the start of the third quarter the Bulls defense also wasn't that very good. They were just trading buckets, though, and the Bulls just outscored the Cavs during that little stretch. But the Cavs were shooting great in the start of the third quarter. So the defense is gonna have to show me again, like, oh, you can stop this Cavaliers team. And unfortunately, I just think this Cavs team is very bad right now. So you got, I mean, if there's ever a time to show it, you gotta show it now. Here's the other thing, though. This is something that was not at any point talked about at all throughout this game, or like we were worried about it, but this was really shocking. But Evan Mobley is out, but this Cleveland team has been very good on the offensive rebounds all season long, and that's been killing the Bulls this season since basically November. So this is going to be something that I do not think is going to go the same way as it did tonight, where the Bulls did a good job on defensive glass, and, you know, second chance points, Cleveland only had 8. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen again. And the Cavs had a total, I think it was 6. No, it was 8. It was 8 offensive rebounds. I don't think it's going to happen again, but make sure you don't allow them to get like 20, because that's definitely doable for this Cavs team. Jarrett Allen was like, he was very efficient, but like didn't feel that impactful in it. I expect differently, honestly, but we will see. But yeah, if there's ever a time, again, if there's ever a time to beat up on a team that has a better record than you, it's now. I want to see more play from Buzelis just in terms of playing time. Again, I guess I'm even just like being lenient right now. You don't need to close with him, but you need to give him more than 22 minutes, okay? Or, you know, 23 or 24 minutes. It's got to be more than that. I need to see more from Buzelis in terms of playing time. And yes, he needs to play better, but I don't need Patrick Williams minutes over him, okay? Like, that's just something that I cannot stand. And so if we continue to hear about this, then I will be calling people out. about it. I don't want to hear that stuff anymore. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to see these little like kind of small series here. We get Cleveland again, and then we're gonna face Atlanta twice in a home and home. So sorry, we're not home, but we're in Atlanta both games. So these are a little bit kind of like fun series just kind of see, because like both teams are not that high overall in the Eastern Conference standings. They're within playing reach right now. And we kind of get a kind of a gauge of just kind of where this Bulls team is at compared to some of these other teams. So fun little stuff coming up here. I'm interested in seeing that, and then we'll be hitting Christmas after that Atlanta game. So looking forward to those games. But that's gonna do it for tonight's stream. I sincerely do appreciate everyone tuning into this Bulls post-game stream. Bulls get the W and actually play some defense. Wow, look at that. And the offense wasn't so atrocious. Wow. This has not changed, I think, anything about this Bulls team, unfortunately. But it is just nice to see that they're not being like one of the bottom feeders tonight, and they actually came out and played a competent level. So that was good to see. If you're not hit the like button on the stream, please do help me out a lot. I sincerely do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, like Bulls content, please subscribe. We will be having probably a new Bulls on Tap podcast out. It'll probably be out on Friday, so be on the lookout for that. I'll be posting in the community tab when that does come out. I'll be with Alejandro Delgado for that, so be on the lookout for that. I'll be on the new episode, and hopefully it's gonna be a good one, because we can actually talk about some better Bulls play in the last week, and just be on the lookout for some Bulls on Tap content from me in terms of writing stuff, because that is always stuff I'll be doing throughout the year. But thank you guys so much for the post-game stream. I appreciate y'all. I had a lot of fun. Be safe, and I'll see y'all on Friday. Peace, y'all. Thank you.